E3 is one of the biggest events in the gaming calendar. All year, it seems like gamers and companies alike are preparing themselves for the new announcements to be made at the show, and sometimes the hype is so real that it can manifest itself in, let's say, weird ways.
Human NPCs are coming to Fallout 76.
This show isn't just for the AAA peeps either. There are plenty of indie games on display at the event, and this year was a standout selection of the cream of the indie crop. Since it was so much to take in, I thought that I would take some time and redigest the games that were shown off at the event. Maybe even highlight a few of the ones that looked more interesting to me. That being said, you should probably all be aware going into this that a lot of the time this is being based either purely on footage that was shown at the event, or at the best was based on alpha versions or demos that were made available after the fact. With that in mind, my name is Will with Clickist. Now let's take a look at indie gaming at E3 2019. Freedom Finger is a side-scrolling shooter in which you play as a giant flying fist who shoots bullets by flipping the middle finger at people. It is also batshit insane. Seriously, that's not me, they put that there themselves. It has a great animation style that makes me think of some of the segments from Monkey Dust. Side note, if you are faint of heart or delicate of sensibility, please do not Google Monkey Dust, and if you do, it is not my fault for what you find there. It also stars the voice talents of folks such as Nolan North and John DiMaggio, which should be enough to get you excited to play it on its own. Shall we do that joke that every hack fucker made when they saw this game? Go on, let's do it. Look guys, it's the real Tony Hawk. Painful humour aside, you can probably tell that Skatebird is pretty Ron-Seal, i.e. it does exactly what it says on the tin. You are a bird, you're skateboarding around a table, and that's pretty much the whole thing. You can even try out an alpha version of the game right now, and while I do admit that it's still in need of much more work before it's ready for prime time, I feel like burbs are the new cats on the internet, so they probably couldn't have picked a better time to release a game like this. I'm pretty sure that everyone has already talked about this one by now, but to hell with it. This is my list and I want to talk about Raw Men, damn it. Raw Men is basically a game where you and your friends get to engage in a protracted food fight while embodying practically naked, hairy men running around some sort of town centre. Basically not unlike a Saturday night in my hometown. You fling soup at each other, you whack each other with fish, you slide and jump around a lot. It basically looks like an even more frantic version of Gang Beasts but with soup. Obviously, I am sold on this. There is something about the concept of the post-death game to win a second chance of life thing that I've always found appealing. One of my all-time favourite games is The World Ends With You, and that has basically the same concept. In AFTERPARTY, you play the part of two different people, both of whom die and find themselves hanging out in the coolest club in town. Hell. To claw their way back to their presumably evil-filled lives, the duo must try to outdrink the devil. Sounds doable. This adventure game was made by the creators of OXENFREE, a game I actually love to pieces, and honestly the style of the gameplay is similar enough to invoke great memories. Plus, the tone of the story seems a bit more overtly humorous than mysterious, so it'll be a nice change of pace. Yay! A game about Vikings next! Well, I mean, I think they're Vikings. They look like Vikings. Also, this is another game that has an alpha demo, which does make it easier to talk about. As the kids say, woot! Bloodroots is a fast-paced action game about being, maybe Viking, who must run through an enemy village, trying to kill everyone he finds before they kill him. Gameplay-wise, there's a little bit of Hotline Miami thrown into the mix, although obviously this is 3D rendered instead of pixels, and a little less neon facade disguising a bleak world, and a bit more hyper-coloured Viking murder stabby fun time. Again, a nice change of pace. The demo only gives you a peek at the first level of the game, but I can already tell that the feel, flow and timing are all going to factor heavily into how this one works out. If you want to try the game for yourself, I've put the download link in the description below. I'm not sure how many indie fans out there are into VR, but honestly, if you're not, you should be. Battlewake is essentially a chance to turn yourself into a virtual pirate, or to put it another way, it's Sea of Thieves in VR. All I can gather from this is coming from different trailers and stuff that exist for the game, but it looks immense. You can steer your ship, or your crew to fire on enemies, pull off special moves with your anchor, all in VR. For real, I'm going to set up a fan and a mist sprayer when I get a chance to play this game, and it's going to be really awkward to walk in on. Sit down and cry the town. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Yar? This might actually be one of my favourites from the whole show, because it's the first time that me and my wife have played a game together using a single controller at the same time and not come out of it wanting a divorce. Fling to the Finish is a sort of odd physics racing game. It has a lot of similarities to Bossa Studios' early work in that it's sort of intentionally difficult to control, but that doesn't make it less fun. Each member of a team takes one half of a controller and has to dodge and race their way down a track trying to be the first to get to the finish line. Honestly, it's almost more fun to screw up than it is to do well in the game. Me and my wife basically failed to navigate past almost any of the TNT crates, fell off of the track numerous times, and just bumbled our way through the level and had a total blast. My wife even hates games where you have to take only half of a controller, and even she ended up actually having fun. I don't know what else really needs saying about this. If you want to try it for yourself, there's an alpha demo version available right now, and you can even back the game on Kickstarter. You know, if you're quick. This game scratches a very specific itch for me, or at least I'm hoping it will when it comes out. It seems very clear to me, both from the footage and the small amount of gameplay that I've managed to try, that the game is basically a mix of Hotline Miami and SWAT 4. The Hotline Miami comparison is pretty obvious, I mean, just look at it. But the SWAT 4 comparison might be a bit more niche. It was basically an evolution of the Police Quest games, which had you in control of a tactical police squad. Much like the game it is based on, Police Stories is a very tactical game, to the point that a single, very minor mistake can end up killing you instantly. It can get quite frustrating at certain times, especially if you get close to the end of the map 50 times, but keep fluffing it at the last second. I really hope that they make it so you can pick up your partner's equipment if they die, because I am so fed up of getting stuck behind a fucking locked door without any breaching charges. Minor annoyances aside, there are a few flaws with the pacing and learning how to handle the game's mechanics, but I really think that this could be a game I'd sink loads of hours into. If I can get through this damn door! Ah! Is it okay that the main reason that this is on the list is because the main character is adorable? Well, tough, it's happening. TAMARIN is a 3D platformer game with some pretty impressive looking graphics. In the game, you control a tamarin monkey whose family is threatened by an invasion of giant insects, who, and let's be fair here, are total dicks. Through the course of the game, you have to jump your way around a beautiful looking 3D world, you have to shoot, hopefully with better controls than Conker had, and it's all thrown together by Chameleon Games, an indie studio filled to the brim with rare veterans. Okay now, let's all pretend that the stupid game named after the world's dumbest musical instrument, side note, my sister might kill me for that one, didn't happen. I have way more confidence in this game. It doesn't seem to be relying on recycled nostalgia or outdated gameplay. Colour me foolish, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Also, look at this guy. I just want to stroke his fur and cuddle him. Stop judging me. I'm not sure how many people will remember this, but a few years ago there was a game called Antichamber which used Euclidean geometry for a lot of its puzzles, as well as generally being freaky and weird. Needless to say, I loved it. Superliminal seems to be a game made with a very similar approach, although instead of Euclidean, it aims more at perspective being the key to solving the puzzles. Once again, there isn't much beyond a video to really go on here, but I for one will be keeping an eye out for this game. Feels like something I could literally get lost in for an afternoon. So this is my last selection from the list, and I chose it for two reasons. Firstly, because I love me an adventure game, and from everything I can tell about this, it is definitely an adventure game. Secondly, I chose it because it looks harrowing as hell, and I really just enjoy torturing myself. The entire game takes place on a constant 12-minute loop, and things might start out simple enough with the main character having dinner with his wife, but by the look of things, it can get pretty intense depending on the choices that you make. Again, I have almost nothing but one short video to use for this segment, so it's pretty short, but for the life of me, even from this fragmentary glimpse of the game, I feel like it's my top pick from E3 2019. So there are my top picks of indie gaming at E3 2019. Obviously there were so many awesome indie games at the different shows and stands that I will have missed some really amazing stuff. To help me out, I want you guys to make a list of your top picks from E3. Maybe even make a response video and let me know what you think of the game from my list. Thanks for watching, everyone. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and share it with your friends if they might do the same. Subscribe for more of our excellent indie gaming content, and check out my channel for more retro and tabletop gaming stuff. Toodles! That was weird. Probably should have gone with Toodles, though. No, not a fan. Nah, go back to your solitaire, love.